the workshop and to see such a motivated community of cities and regions. Today's session isn't just about ideas, as you will see. It will actually be about moving from ideas to real investment on the ground. If we go to my next slide, please. I will start by why we are here. And this workshop has been designed for you, cities and regions that are already part of the CCRI community. Whether you are a pilot, a fellow, an Horizon Europe demonstrator, I would say you have already done the hard part, right? You have tested ideas, you have built local momentum, shown real commitment to circular change. That means your projects are most likely quite mature, more mature than most. But even strong projects often need a final boost. And that last step from promising projects to investable, scalable solutions, that's where this workshop comes in to show how tailored advisory support can help turn your momentum into market readiness. Next slide, please. So starting from the challenges, there are clear challenges that you face every day. We know the circular transitions is complex. Circular projects touch on various sectors, various value chains, sometimes procurement, behavior, regulation, often all of this at once. And while you, cities and regions, are leading the way in ambition, we know that you often lack the in-house capacity to design business cases, manage procurement, or simply speak the language of investors. And without that support, even the best ideas can stall. That's why we would like to introduce you to what we offer in the framework of the CCRI in terms of dedicated, practicals, hands-on advisory support. Next slide, please. So this is just to get back to sorry, the full picture. And this diagram shows all the advisory and support services that are available within the CCRI framework. And you can see from 1 to 4, it really follows the circular journey. And the more developed and close to investment your projects become, the more tailored and hands-on the support becomes too. So at the top of the graphic, you have like entry points like peer learning, scans, mentoring, which is of course great for cities that are mostly started. But at the very bottom, where projects are nearly ready to attract funding, that's really where we will focus today. We will focus on this specialized advisory support that helps take your promising ideas across the finish line to market readiness. And that's exactly where C3 and Green Assist come in. And this is why they're highlighted here in the slide as the part of the C3 toolbox we're going to explore with you today. Next slide, please. So what advisory support we offer, we are really not talking about generic advice here. We really mean to provide real support from financial experts, legal advisors, project strategists, all tailored to your needs. And it's really about having like the right people around the table to help you build your case. And this can take, of course, various forms. Again, from this is what you can see on the right hand. It can take the form of business cases. It can be the preparation of an investor pitch, or it can even be matchmaking you and your project ideas to potential investors. Next slide, please. So that's why today we're bringing together two key advisory offers under the CCRI umbrella. You see on the left the Circular Cities Center, C3 in short, set up by the European Investment Bank and co-funded by the European Commission. And you see on the right, Green Assist, supported by the European Commission's LIFE program. Both support are here to help cities and regions transform circular ideas into investment-ready projects. And it's not about standard consulting, as I said, it's really about targeted, experts-driven support designed to help you move forward. So what's the difference between the two, you may ask? To keep it simple, C3 is more ideal for larger scale projects, usually above 20 million euros. Possibly more complex projects involving multiple stakeholders or involving innovating financing. It can offer us up to 200 expert days of advisory, so that's quite a lot, typically over 6 to 12 months. Green Assist, on the other side, supports more mid-sized projects from 1.5 million to 20 million euros, and can offer up to 80 expert days, usually over 3 to 6 months. Both are open to EU cities and regions or their project promoters, and both expect active engagement, of course, from the beneficiary who would get such support. And what I would really like to highlight here, because I think it's really key, is that the more you would put into the process, the more value, of course, you will get out of it. Next slide, please. Just to re-highlight what is common to both, and at the very core of both C3 and Green Assist, we aim at accelerating the market readiness of circular projects. So both really help cities move from policy to practice, from one-off pilots to full-scale implementation. And they, of course, align very well with the CCRI overall mission to create real replicable models that can scale across Europe. So together, these partnerships, Commission EIB, Commission Green Assist, are helping cities build credible pipelines, gain investor trust, and grow a strong circular community. Next slide, please. So what you can expect today, that can be summarized in 3 main points. It's really about understanding what support is available for you and how to make it work for your city or region. So you will hear from more EIB and Green Assist experts, from peers as well who have already benefited from it, and hopefully leave the room, this virtual room, with clear ideas for how your projects can take the next step. So you have, and I think I have one last slide. So if you are already active in the circular economy through the CCRI, if your projects are already quite advanced but still need this very final boost, then this workshop is for you. Thanks again for being here, for being part of this CCRI movement, and let's get started to turn your circular ambition into real investable actions. Back to you. Back to you, Andrea.
Many thanks, Lucy. Very clear overview, which is very needed. Now we have really the opportunity to go in depth, in media res, really in the middle of the thing. And I would say let's really start with the first advisory. First, in terms of like not of course important, both of them are crucial, are important, but let's really start with the first advisory scheme. We can go to the next slide. Jonas, or Audrey and Jonas, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Yes, I will start. So Good morning, everyone. My name is Audrey Vergne, and I'm going to present to you, together with my colleague Jonas Bistrom, the Circular City Center C3 initiative. So I'm working in the advisory division of the public sector department of the EIB. So the the European Investment Bank has developed the Circular City Center, which is a competence and resource center, which is organized around 4 key pillars. So the first pillar is about awareness raising and mobilization. So this means that we have been developing and we are currently working on new knowledge product, a wide range of tool that can further help you in your circular economy journey. So we have been developing guidance document, case study, but also e-learning module that are available on our dedicated C3 page. The second pillar, knowledge sharing and dissemination, is about, as mentioned, to further disseminate this knowledge with the organization of webinar, but also conference roundtable. So with the objective also to facilitate networking around key economic actors in the circular economy sphere, but also further promote best practices. And the third and the fourth pillar are advisory support services that we are offering to city, region, or public sector actor to facilitate their transition to a circular economy. So the Circular City Advisory, the CTA, are 3 types of predefined advisory program that we are offering to city region to facilitate their transition at different stage also of their journey. So in a couple of minutes, I'm going to present you in further detail what the support program is about. And the fourth one, the Circular Project Advisory, the CPA, is a bilateral advisory support program that is being offered to more mature circular economy projects. And we are going to see in a minute the differences, and Jonas is going to further deep dive into the CPAs. I think colleagues haven't muted their mic. Yeah, okay, good. So next slide, please. The range of services that are being offered under the C3 initiative is the result of a pilot phase that was developed in 2022 and 2023. So the current initiative is running until 27. So please get in contact with us because you can benefit from a large range of services. So this enlarged offer has been developed in cooperation, but also with the support of the European Commission, in particular DG RTD. And this has been done also in the framework of the CCRI initiative. So the C3 initiative is led by the EIB, but is also delivered with the support of a consortium of a consultant that you probably already know. So working with us, we have the Circle Economy Foundation, ARUP, ICLE, and also Ecoris colleague. So next slide. So here I'm going to present to you the type of CCA program that we can offer to you, and they are free of charge. So this is really important to keep in mind. And so I will cover the free one, starting with the first and the second, but further deep dive into the third one. So those free programs are predefined in the sense that they are covering specific topic with expected output pre-identified, but we can, of course, tailor them to your specific need. So the CCA CCA1 program is about developing with you or updating your circular economy strategy. So you might already have a document and would like to develop one. This is possible. It's also possible if you already have a strategy to further deep dive or update a specific theme within this strategy. So the starting point is to have interest in circular economy and the ambition to be more active in this field. The CCA2 advisory program is about further implementing this strategy. So basically, you already have this document. Maybe you've already started working on it. And the objective is to help you define a pipeline of projects to operationalize this strategy. And the third one, which is a part of the discussion today, so it's a CCA3. It starts once you have, so the objective is for you to start engaging in this type of program once you have a pipeline of projects that are already defined, but you want to further work on them, because the objective would be for you to move those projects toward financing and implementation. So you remember I mentioned the fourth leg, the CPA. So the difference between the CCA3 and the CPA would be the size of the project. So let's say you can consider the CCA3 when you have projects that are maybe less mature, less advanced than projects that can be considered under CPA. But the key criteria, but there is still a little bit of flexibility, would be the size of the project, so 20 million. But again, we can really tailor those advisory support to your needs. So that's why we are encouraging you to contact us, so then we can further discuss with you whether it's better for you to have a CCA3 or directly starting with a CPA. And again, those services are providing free of charge. The key point to keep in mind is that under the CCA free workshop, we are guiding you. So there is a commitment in terms of time, but also resources, in the sense that the consortium of consultants is going to help you, to guide you in further developing those projects, but not doing the work for you, compared to a bilateral advisory support that you can get under the CPA. So next slide. So now I'm handing over to my colleague Jonas, who is going to further present to you what the CPA is about. So please do not hesitate, if you have questions, to raise it during the Q&A or to contact us directly so we can discuss your needs.
Thank you very much, Audrey, and good morning to everyone. Really good to see such a large turnout for this, what we think very important workshop, where we present things we are quite convinced could be very useful for many of you. The Circular Project Advisory Program, as the name indicates, and we heard, focus on one project. Like Audrey said, also for the CCA, it's free of charge, even though this program is much more extensive in the support we give together with the consultants we work with. And it's also flexible and tailored to what the needs are and not pre-programmed as the CCA program. It focuses on projects close to maturity. That means we are not really able to take a project from the very early stages. Larger sized projects we heard before, 20 million as an indication with some flexibility. Focus on circular projects or projects with circular potential, where the potential may not be fully developed, with urban links and projects in the EU, given that the financing we get from the Commission for this program is actually guiding us to an EU focus. Next slide, please. So what can we actually do, and what do we offer through the CPA? The first goal is for a project that have been developed to some certain stage, a larger project, ensure that the promoter get the help needed to really optimize the circular elements, the circular aspects of this project, to make it as circular as possible. Looking at life cycle strategies, technical design, solution concepts, implementation, governance aspects of the project, the ecosystems, market aspects, upstream, downstreams, etc., or other circular challenges, opportunities that have not been explored or exploited, we can say, fully in the project. And the second goal is to, like Lucy also said, ensure that the help is available for the promoter to go from what may be a relatively good, hopefully circular project that have not yet come to the stage or maturity where the promoter can actually go to a bank, to the commission, to another financier, and convince them that this is a project worth financing. So supporting this development towards what we call investment readiness, or sometimes also bankability, is the other main goal of the program. Next page, next slide. So that means we are not able to take a good idea or a good concept and follow that through. That will take more than the 6 to 8 months or more than the 200 person days. We are also not able to sit down and do the designs or prepare the tender documents or other tasks that the project promoter have a team to do. But the input is then to help that team to develop the design or the technical aspects or the procurement documents or other aspects of the documentation with a view to really make it as clear, convincing and credible as possible to get to the stage where the promoter can secure the financing and go into the implementation stage. Yeah, can we go back? I was not really finished. And we are also not, providing any financing or funding. We are providing a team of consultants that will work together with EIB experts, with the promoter, and then ensure that the gaps or the circularity aspects are addressed. And we can also not support in the later stages when you have come already to the implementation, construction, operation stages. And the advices from the consultants from EIB side, we will work with and propose to the project promoters what can be done to further develop the project, and where needed actually work a bit on actually develop this. But as we said, not really sit down and do the designs, the drawings and the minute details of the projects. That's beyond the time and the budget. Next slide, please. So in practice, there will be a dedicated team from the consultants with Arup in the lead, a team of EIB experts, where you may know that we have a large group of experts in one part of the bank, economists, engineers working and having expertise in many different sectors, that together with the team on the project, the city, the promoter side, will discuss and agree on what would be the scope of this input. Where are the gaps, circularity-wise, or project preparedness-wise, and then agree on a scope of works, a time plan, a work plan for how the consultants with the EIB experts can support in this work. The work is then carried out primarily by the teams from the C3 consultants, with support also and input from EIB experts, mainly remotely, but also with a couple of workshops and interactions on site in order to really see and have good understanding of conditions and needs, and also good interaction with the promoter. And what is delivered can then feed into the preparation of the project action plan, strategies to some extent, but more maybe the business model, the business cases, looking at the risk aspects, feasibility studies that may lack some elements, financial models, cost-benefit analysis, and then, like we said, all the different aspects along the project, we can say scope, that could be modified, further developed from circularity point of view. Next slide, please. 2 very quick examples of what we have started to do and work with. Turku, Linaniemi, an urban development project, a brownfield project, where with Turku we actually worked in a CCA2 program, helped them to look at the urban built environment. And out of that work came then this assignment, where the goal is to, in this brownfield and old port development, efforts will be made to ensure that circular aspects are really brought into the planning, the design and the implementation, with a goal not just to make the reconstruction, redevelopment circular, but in particular, since it's a port area, also look at the management of wastewater, of flood water, promoting reuse and circular aspects of flood protection, etc. The next slide, the next project is a project in Spain, Malaga, instead a greenfield development, a very large you can say focused development with large sustainability ambitions and also with the support of C3 circular ambitions, where the goal is to really look at how can, in these different aspects of such a large multi-focused urban greenfield development, circularity be put in, not only in the design and the planning, but also in the implementation aspects of this, looking both at the component level and also at more the program and global level. These are both projects in the built environment, which have a lot of opportunities, a lot of needs in the urban context, we can say. But we're also discussing with and looking at projects in other sectors and are open to any urban-linked, urban-related project and sector where there is a need, either on the circular side or on product maturity side. So with this, the next slide will give a bit of what could be the next steps. We hope through these two presentations, Audrey's and mine, you will see that we can offer a lot, both from the Circular City Advisory Program in an early stages and for the larger mature projects through the Circular Project Advisory Program. You will get the presentation in a mail from Jan or Andrea, where you will find a link both to description documents, more detailed description documents of what we offer through these programs, but also, maybe more importantly, the expression of interest forms which you can use to describe your project, describe what you think the C3 programs, either of them, could help you develop further, and then open a dialogue with the C3 team that then will discuss and agree with you whether your proposed program is the most likely and best fit. Then we have a lot of other information, and you will have a link in the slide here to the web page. We have a frequently asked question document. We have an introductory video. We have a LinkedIn account with weekly updates on what we do on these programs, but also what Audrey mentioned, awareness raising, knowledge sharing wise. And any questions you have following this presentation or later, a very simple to remember email address where you reach us, both on the EIB and consultant side, c3@eib.org. Thank you very much, and we are very happy to take questions afterwards. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonas. Thank you, Audrey. I would say, indeed, we have a Q&A session. Keep your question for after, because there might be a question addressing both of the advisory schemes. And thank you also for keeping your time. I guess now we can move to Green Assist. Christophe and Gauthier, the floor is yours for presenting Green Assist.
Can I just made a little comment? When you switched off the last slide, I saw that there was a box I missed, and that is we are planning actually a workshop, a conference-like event in October during the European Week of Regions and Cities, where we are planning a project clinic. So unless you have all the answers here, unless we, through the expression of interest form, can address questions you may have, there will be a very good opportunity to actually discuss projects you have for which either of these programs may help you, in particular the circular project. Thanks as well for that.
Thank you. No, not at all. Very useful exercise. Again, Green Assist, Christophe and Gauthier, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for inviting. I'm very glad to be present here to this event. So my name is Krzysztof Więcielak. I'm working in CCRI, which is the European Climate Infrastructure Environmental Executive Agency. I was supposed to present together with Gauthier Clar, my colleague in the financial engineering team, but unfortunately he is absent due to medical reasons. So it will be maybe a bit less interactive, only with myself. So Green Assist is an advisory service for sustainable investment support. This was created and is available within the InvestEU portal, where are also other advisory services. And the main idea here was to support entities, can be public or private, any entities, in the creation of pipeline of investment project, of green investment project, that will support the environmental objectives of the Green Deal. So next slide, please. The financing of Green Assist comes from LIFE. And basically many principles, the geographical area are the same as the LIFE projects. The financing comes from LIFE. So it focuses mostly on environmental aspects, as you will see also in the next slides. And as I mentioned, we are available within the InvestEU portal. So the idea is to support you in the preparation of projects. So a little bit like my colleagues from EIB, we are looking for projects that are close, that have a high maturity and are close for implementation, but still missing something, a little bit maybe of technical knowledge, a little bit maybe of the setup of the financial model, or how to make it work, how to make it bankable, maybe how to attract financing. You might have great ideas, but there is something that you need, maybe like the final push to make the project to be implemented and make it feasible. So the main idea here was to help the entities to build this pipeline of projects. And as you see, many principles, you will see later, many principles are very similar to the CCA and CPA, but we are complementary in the terms that we can support you if you have projects of a smaller scale. So for EIB, it was at least 20 million investments. We would also like to see investment of a considerable size, but we are open to projects that start already with 1.5 or 2.5 million euro, which I think is the important demarcation here. There will be not many differences. Of course, the procedures in-house differ, but for you, I think the most important is to remember that with us, with Green Assist, you can address also smaller ideas, and you will see some examples later on. How it works, it's open all the time. We don't have any calls, so you can apply whenever you want. So it's only on your request. The request is very simple. If you have a good idea in your mind and you have like already an initial plan, you know your project, it doesn't take more than 10 minutes to send the first request. The first request is available within the InvestEU portal, and it's really basic information, in fact, to start the conversation. I think we have here the similar approach that you have a dedicated person. We are supported by consultancy, also by Ecoris, and we start a conversation to you to see if this project can fly, if it is on interest, and so on. So it's only on demand. Whenever you feel ready that you would like to get some support, you can also like just check if it's feasible. You can apply and send the request either by the portal or also contact us directly to get some more information. It's available anyway for anyone. We don't specify. So we have a bit wider range. It's not really dedicated to some specific entities. So we open for private and public beneficiaries. So this includes, of course, cities and regions, and also entities that are in your ownership or belong to you, some agencies, development agencies, or maybe some even NGOs that you work together with, and the diversity, then it also like a wide scope of sectors. What is also important here is that we also, within the admissibility, we check if this is the best fit for green advisory. So if you have a project idea, you submit it to us, but we see this project maybe goes a little bit to energy, it should be another advisory. I mean, there are plenty of advisory services also within the EIB and within the European Commission that can better address your needs, and we also check it. The idea of Green Assist is also to complement the services that are available and not to overlap with the others. So next slide, please. So the sectors targeted are the standard sectors of environmental projects and life projects. So here we have biodiversity, natural capital, and circular economy. So circular economy here is very much present if it addresses the waste sector, sustainable design, repair and life extension, and sharing. But we're not only limited to biodiversity, natural capital, and circular economy, also what the content of the project is within these ideas. We can also address projects within traditional economic sectors like agriculture, forestry, industries, and also transport. So the scope in fact, the scope of the sectors is the same as Invest EU sectors. What we offer, next slide, please, is two kind of advisory services. The main one is project advisory. We have created a roster of experts. We have over 400 experts available in various sectors with good experience. They're usually senior experts who have very often practical approach and like business experience. So it's not only persons that review project, but also have like a practical experience and can help you to build the project to be feasible and to be easy to implement and bankable. So here, what we also show is that we help to develop the project for implementation. So it can also address, it might be some aspects that concern technical aspects or environmental aspects, but this usually takes more time, or maybe you need some research. So here we cannot help a lot, but to wrap up the project and make it more give it more appetite for the investors. This we can help. So we combine experts. We sometimes combine also experts like the technical experience and more business experience. So you might get two experts or one expert. So this project advisory, we are supported by a consulting company, it's Ecoris. So Ecoris will be in touch with you in the project preparation and implementation. This usually takes 20 to 80 expert days, and the duration is 3 to 6 months. The other advisory service that we offer is enabling advisory. We call it enabling advisory. It's a bit bigger size, but it has also a bit different target. It's capacity building, market development activities, and also strengthening the capacity for investment readiness. Here, the idea is more like an institutional support or horizontal support for entities that need a little bit to update the knowledge, to have better capabilities, also to help implement some projects. Here, for example, we have also investment advisory who want to support and develop ESG approach in the support of projects. So it's a bit different kind. I think for this circular cities and regions, the project advisory, the first kind, is more applicable. So next slide, please. How it works. Okay, it looks a little bit complex here, but we start here with the first green box. So basically, this is the application where you apply in the Invest EU portal, saying that you have a project and you provide the basic information, what you need, what is the sector, what is the project about, who will implement it, who is the owner, and so on. So it's really basic information. Then we conduct the first checks, admissibility and eligibility, which is like, is it in the geographical area? Is the size correct? Will there be an environmental impact? The environmental impact is really crucial for us. There has to be an environmental impact, as this is a live sponsored advisory service and also under the supervision of DG Environment. So we have to contribute to the environmental projects, environmental objectives. If you really have a good impact, environmental impact, and the project is of reasonable size, I think it's already a good indication that your project will be admissible. The eligibility focuses already a little bit in more detail what this really gives, what is the environmental impact, will there be a change. What is important also for us is the project, if you have a project of smaller size, is there a possibility of replication of this project? Can you implement a project that will be successful in your city or region, in another city or region, or somewhere else in EU? And this is also another important aspect next to the environmental impact, this replicability or scalability. So if you can scale up, or you can replicate, or someone else can replicate based on your experience, this is also for us very important. And basically, these are the checks. The next phases is a little bit like the colleagues presented. Jonas presented also for EIB, there where you get a team. Here you get in touch with Ecoris experts, and what they work is to understand in more detail and work on you what you really need, what would be the most appropriate support that you should get for your project. So this is also like advisory service that it's tailor-made to your needs. So it also requires your strong involvement and like knowledge about what you want to implement, but also through the discussion, you might arrive and to prioritize your needs maybe a little bit better, to think about some aspects that you have not covered. So our experts in EcoRIS help you to design what we will provide you within this advisory service, so we can kind of create a little bit of the terms of reference, what the advisory service should provide. And then we are trying to find an expert. The experts comes from roster of experts. This is a living roster. We always populate new experts depending on the demands. So we're also trying to adjust to the current needs. We have experts also on sustainable finance, on bioeconomy. We have on water resilience. So there are various aspects that come in also in the development of the policy. So here, the EcoRIS is looking at the roster of experts, trying to find the best matching experts for you. As I said, it might be one expert, it might be two experts. You usually have a offer of 3 various experts. You can also look and choose which is the best. Do you prefer like better expertise? Do you maybe prefer to have the language of the expert with? Most of the experts, we cover almost all languages of the EU. But of course, the combination of excellent knowledge and experience with your language might be a challenge. So that sometimes is a little bit trade-off. But there is also a selection of languages, which I think is very important. So you have a choice, and we try to match your needs with the expertise, and of course with your own preference. And then let's say the assignment fish is ready, and you have an expert contract, and then is the implementation, and the next points follow. So this is like a process where you will also participate, and of course, like the expert works with you. So as already Lucy has mentioned before, it requires some engagement from your side. And of course, then the assignment fish, it specifies the milestones, the deliverables. So what you will get some advisory reports and so on. Everything is specified there, and then the implementation starts. So you see that there is a timeline of few months here, because it requires really good preparation and like a considerable amount of time to talk and have an idea. So like I will move on. Next slide, please. So we have here prepared, there is something missing. Okay, there was a slide on the presenting project in the city of Roubaix. It's a small town close to Lille in the northern part of France. And the project was in fact to create a hub. There was a circular hub created in an old factory. And this project was addressing aspects of circular economy and the biodiversity. The idea was that it was like an old factory that was abandoned, and there was like, like we have here, it was abandoned and not used. So it was like a wasted land. And the idea was like to get it back, to make it operational. So the city has created their circular hub, which can host a lot of entities which are active in circular economy. If you Google this project, you will see there is a lot of space provided for various entities. There is food, there is materials, there is repair of bicycles, there is space for work, and so on. So basically, all these principles of repair, reuse, recycle are there, and it has been successful. But now the city is considering, okay, if it has been successful and we have provided this space, can we do it? Can we scale it up? Can we do it in other parts of the town? And they considering 2 new locations. So you see the investment could be 11 million, so around 5 million each location. but they a bit hesitant, so they don't know if this will really take up, what is the market for it, will be the demand, is a possibility. So here we have agreed that there will be like a SWOT analysis, there will be the assessment of replicability of the circular economy model, the aspect of impact on socioeconomic and environmental impact and recommendations. So here was one expert contracted, and it's ongoing project of 50 working days. So next slide, please. So we get some feedback from the from Mr. Hugo Delay, the head of the projects in City Rubo. What he emphasized was let's say three strengths. So personalized support. This is what we are saying, that it's a tailor-made approach, and you have high level of customization of the services, so you really get what you need. Credible independent expert. As I mentioned, the roster of experts, this is experts, they are independent of us, of the European Commission. They can express their views based on their competence and experience. You can have an honest discussion with them, and they don't represent like our views, so they are independent. Flexible and comprehensive service. So as I said, we cover also various aspects. So can be technical, can be business, can be financing, and so on. The weaknesses that were mentioned is that it requires beneficiary engagement and resource commitment. And this is very true. So maybe it was not like expected, but in fact, we require that the beneficiary is dedicated and contributes, because in order to provide you with good recommendation, with good services, we also need to have good knowledge on you, on your prospects, and we have to see all the details that you have. So there is a need of active participation in the process and also in the implementation. It's not that something will be delegated and the project will end up in the drawer, because participation also creates ownership from your side. Language barriers and expertise availability. So here it was difficult, in fact, to match like perfectly the circular economy expertise with a French-speaking expert. So we have an expert that is not French-speaking, but the decision was also made that they valued more the expertise and said, okay, we will then manage to translate some things together than to have the expertise. So you see, this already nicely summarizes the advantages and, like, say, maybe some weaknesses. This engagement, ownership was already mentioned, so I think it's very important to plan also in the resources when you apply that there has to be a dedicated person, and basically for us it's also a sign of the maturity of your project, that if there are resources available, that it's taken seriously and the implementation is very close. So next slide, please. I think I have to move a bit faster. So just you will see in the presentation, we'll receive the presentations and other examples of projects that we have supported. Castilla y León, it's more about the waste sector and composting. So this is more like technical support, how to make it operational, and so on. The other project is in Latvia, Nature Conservation Agency. So here is clearly biodiversity sector and nature. It's about how they can best eradicate some invasive species. So they have indicated 12 species. They would like to address 5 of the species to preserve the biodiversity in the region and support the environment in this way. So we have also a project like this. So you see the scope, the variety of projects is quite high. Next slide, please. Yes, so this is the other advisory service, which is of a bigger scope. I will maybe not go into the details here so much, but the main difference is that in this case, we have 4 consulting companies created. That requires a little bit more preparation. We launch a small call for the offer, so this is like either project of bigger size, and we hire the consultant to provide you with the services. But this is more wider scope, that it's maybe not that much applicable. But we're also happy to provide you some more details in case of interest. In fact, when you apply and we see that your project is rather of this kind of advisory, it's us who decides which advisory service will be offered. So you don't have to bother what you apply for, you can just send the application and describe your idea. Just next slide, please. I just will shortly mention here that within this enabling advisory, something what we already have in place. It's a follow-up of live projects, and it's called close to market project. Live projects usually have a after life plan. They say what they need to, what they will implement, and basically here we help them a little bit in this implementation of the after project plan. So here are some services offered. This is like really small scope of few days of coaching, business coaching, some assistance, business deliverables reviews, and so on. If you have in your city or region also some small live projects, they can apply here to follow up. So this would be the main advisory offers that we can offer within Green Assist. We are present in many places on the social media. If you type Green Assist, CCRI, or Ecoris, you will arrive at our web pages or some information. You can also contact us directly, and we invite you to apply. So one more slide, a little bit like of good communication, sales department. So what you can get, and I think this goes very well for both of us, for the EIB and for us, that the application process is quite clear and easy because it's basically launched. You get a professional support with objective matching. So really it's tailor-made. I think this is very important. It's free of charge and it's tailor-made. So it really want to address your needs, because if they are properly addressed, this can translate into a good quality project that will be implemented. The experts are independent, so they are credible, and they also provide, and they're very interactive. The support is continuous, so we don't have any calls. You can apply anytime. It's neutral in respect of financial partners, so sometimes we also address in the project the financing aspect, and there can be a bit advisory of where you can apply, if it's maybe bank or loan or something, or equity. So the expert can also support you in this, but we are not bound to any institution. So maybe this is a little bit the difference. And so you get a free access, free advisory service to good quality expert, and it's a transparent process. Yes, so also like the final slide, some contacts. Here you can also scan the barcode and get some information. And you will see also there's a functional mailbox, so we can always contact us and for further information, or just send your request directly and then launch the discussion. So the last slide, please. And thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you. And thank you also for bringing actually 2 of the 3 examples are from the CCRI community, 2 pilots. So just to say how a pilot in the CCRI can really, receive further advisory on very specific things to implement their project. Now, aware that we are a little bit late, I pass immediately the floor to you, Lucy, to wrap up. Really, the key information is a sort of way to say what are the key messages from these 2 advisory schemes, and then we can present a little bit the next step after this workshop to, on the contrary, collect some information from you. But before let's start again, Lucy, to you.
Yes, thank you, Andrea, and thank you, of course, to our 3 speakers for the very clear presentation. I know it's a lot of information, but I think somehow they managed to put it all together in a very understandable way. So I really hope that with this presentation we are reaching a good understanding of how you can best tap into the CCRI support offers. So we're just stepping back a minute to recap on the main differences and complementarities between these 2 offers, C3 and Green Assist, before, of course, turning to you now for the Q&A session. So I will try to summarize this in 5 main points. The first one is related to the project size, of course. C3 supports larger, possibly more complex projects, usually above 20 million euros. Green Assist is ideal for smaller to mid-sized projects, typically between 1.5 to 20 million euro. The second aspect is more related to the scope, as you most likely understood. CCRI only focuses on circular projects. The scope of green assets is broader, as it addresses sustainability issues. Circularity is one of them. So there's also a slight difference in terms of who delivers the supports, even though at the end of the day, I would say it's just two pools of experts. CCRI is delivered by a mix of in-house EIB experts and external ones, often over longer periods, while Green Assist really tap into a pool of external circular economy experts. In terms of cost and commitment, I think this was also clearly highlighted by all speakers. Both offers are free of charge for beneficiaries, but that doesn't mean passive support. They require strong commitment and active involvement to get the most value out of these advisory processes. The duration is also slightly different, so is the intensity. Of course, CCRI can offer really up to 200 expert days over 6 to 12 months. Green Assist offer up to 80 expert days over 6 months maximum. So maybe the last point, but I think this has been made crystal clear. Both offers target projects close to maturity, and both offers in-kind advisory support. So really, depending on where you are on your circular journey, one or the other may be more suitable. And this is where we, the Commission, together with the CCRI office, we will help you redirect to who will in the end be best for your needs and for the specificities of your projects. And this is why I'm giving back the floor to Andrea to tell you how to do if you don't know whether you should turn to one or the other. We are, of course, gonna support you in this process. We have even sort of a joint form for that. Andrea, please, the floor is yours.
Thanks, especially